Alright, let's try this again. RageArena, Devlog 1, Attempt 2. So, this is my first game that I've ever made. I am aspiring to become an indie developer, making my own games. This is my first attempt. It's only supposed to be very simple. It's not supposed to be anything complex, glamorous, or, definitely not going to be like top game of the year or top of any list, really. Just supposed to be something to get me into the field and get my name out there. My next games, I have many games in mind, lined up in mind, and the next ones will, especially the later ones, will really be good. Those will be my actual, whatever you want to call it. So RageArena. What is it? I was originally going to call it Driven by Pain due to the game mechanics. But I think RageArena will be a simpler, catchier title for the type of game that it's going to be. It's a 2D, I guess you could call it a movement slasher, right? Like a movement shooter, but if you've ever played Ghost Runner, it's like a combination of Doom and Ghost Runner in a way. It has like aspects like the fast pace from Doom and the melee combat of Ghost Runner, except it's not like Ghost Runner where you take one hit and you just gotta restart the entire arena. No, I hate that. I love the game, but I hate it. It's a love-hate relation. Anyway, so how does the game work? Basically, you play in an arena, and you fight waves of enemies. Now the enemies have range attacks. Right? They have different types of guns. Right? There's like four different types of main basic enemies. You got like a grunt, which uses like a 3-round burst. You got the shoddy, which uses a shotgun. You got the scout, which uses a sniper rifle, and what was the other one? A demo. That's what it was. It uses rockets, RPGs actually. So you just avoid their fire, their gunfire. And every wave, their damage slightly increases to, just steady increase in difficulty, as any game should have. Now, at first, you'll start, each wave will be 10, just 10 enemies. But as you unlock areas of the map using the credits that are awarded to you for every kill, that each area that you unlock will add another 10 to how many spawns per wave. So you have, if you're, when you start out, it starts at 10. You unlock one area. Now now there's gonna be 20 per wave, then 30, then 40, and there's 4 areas every level. Now, how do you complete the level? There's basically infinite waves. You technically don't have to complete the level. You don't have to leave the arena. But basically, how it works is in each area, there's a button that you can activate. You don't even have to, but you can activate it. If you activate all 4, that opens up the exit and allows you to leave. Not leave, but like spawn into level 2, basically a newly generated arena. It's gonna have, it's all still a work in progress, but it's gonna have the 4 areas will be not really randomly generated, but like it'll be different every time. I'm using prefabs, randomly selected prefabs to give a slightly different experience every level. And then every level, the base number of enemies will go up. I think it's by 5 if I remember correctly, or it might be 10. So it'll go up from, I think it's 5, from 10 to 15 to 20 in level 3, 25 in level 4, and so on. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the gist of the main gameplay. There's also coins as a side thing that you can just click on as a bonus to your credit. Just they're worth like 100 credits each. It's just they're there if you want to pick them up. Just makes it a little faster. Now, what makes this all so different? Why? See, personally, I didn't want to just make the exact same thing that everybody else starts out with, right? I mean, yeah, overall it's the same, pretty much the same thing, but I wanted to add my own, my own touch. Now, actually, originally, this this idea came from a later game idea, which is going to be way bigger, way more complex than this game. It's going to be like 3D, mostly open world. If you ever play Prototype, it's going to be a lot like that, but more Doom. Yeah, yes, I like Doom. Okay. But I needed something easier to start with, so I basically just kind of oversimplified that later game idea and turned it into this. And it's gone through several iterations of ideas of how I wanted to do everything, until I eventually got to where I am now and finally decided on how to do it. Anyway, sorry. What makes it different? So in the name, RageArena, and like I said, originally the name was going to be Driven by Pain, because I have a system in my game called Rage. Now I think I've noticed it this isn't exactly a new idea. It's not a new idea. I've seen something similar in a couple other games, basically where as you deal damage, you build up rage, and then you can unleash the rage to, do these like devastator attacks and all that, or maximum damage or whatever. Well, I'm doing slightly different, same concept, but slightly different. Instead of building rage by dealing damage, you're going to build rage by taking damage. However, you can't just stand around and take damage and do maximum damage constantly, because your rage bar, your meter, only fills half as fast. So yeah, it only fills half as fast as your health drain. So basically, every time you take damage, half of that damage goes into rage. Like, you still take the full damage. So let's say you take 10 damage. You still take 10 damage, but you get 5 rage with that. The offset is that your rage drains. Your health automatically regenerates, by the way. I wanted to put that out there. Wanted to make it more simple. I didn't want this game to be too complex. Right? So your health automatically regenerates, and your rage automatically drains. But there's a longer delay. There's a short delay for your health regenerating. There's a slightly longer delay for your rage draining, and it also drains slower than your health regenerates. So it makes it where you can't just stand there, but it's not hard to build it up. And then whenever it's... Actually, wait, no, sorry. I was about to say whenever it's full, but that was a previous idea. So what is it used for? Instead of I mean, it does increase damage. It increases your damage. It increases your movement speed. Um, but to unleash it, you kind of do it manually. It's a quick time event. Whenever you take what will be a killing blow, if you have rage charges available as it, which means like you can only use it so many times. Basically, you can only use it a certain number of times. You can refill those charges by, killing enemies. Um, but if you have no charges left, then then whenever you take your killing blow, it's a killing blow. Like you die. If, however, you have at least one rage charge, you'll instead get a quick time like a prompt, quick time event prompt to activate rage. If you don't, then you die. If you do, then you get like double damage, double movement speed, and also you don't necessarily become invulnerable, but instead of you still take damage, but instead of it being applied immediately, it gets stacked up. So and then applied whenever the rage ends, your rage mode ends, which is when your rage drains fully, and it drains twice as fast whenever you are enraged. So yeah, that pretty much I think covers everything. Now I do want to put a disclaimer that there is still a lot that I'm working on. It's still definitely a work in progress. I just wanted to get this. I mainly want to get this devlog out there once I've got the actual, the basic mechanics of the game flushed out, which pretty much do. There's still some things here and there, like I'm sure you noticed in the video. There's enemies spawning inside the tile map. So I think I just gotta do some like like ray casts, maybe box casts, something like that to, just an additional check in the logic check in the code to make sure that, because what it does is it it's like it goes, it makes randomly generated, it takes a randomly generated position, takes random positions and checks if certain conditions are met at that position, and then if not, then it generates a new position. If so, then it spawns the enemy. So I just got to add some more checks there. Also, and this is something I tried to do already, but didn't quite. Well, I obviously didn't actually have it figured out. Didn't work the way that I tried to do it. Running across the map is tedious. Like, so to fix that, what I'm going to do is try and have it to where as you continuously run in one direction, your movement speed increases. So as you continuously move, to the right, your movement speed will increase, and then as soon as you switch directions or stop, your movement speed will be reset. Actually, that's more so not. I mean, it is to make getting across the arena easier, but more so because the scout has almost the same movement speed as you, so it's a little tedious trying to chase them down. But I don't want the player to just always move too fast, so I'm gonna just make it to where the longer that you run in a certain direction, the faster you run. Also, everything, all the sprites and everything that you're seeing on screen is all temporary. Don't worry about those. It's not gonna look anything like that when I'm done. It's gonna look a hell of a lot better than it does now. Right now, I'm just using some placeholder sprites that I just threw together, low effort. And I think that'll probably be one of the next major things that I do, because there's gonna be, I got a lot of, that's gonna take some time, because I'm not very good at drawing sprites. I'm using an online app to do it because I don't pay for Photoshop, and the default Paint app on Windows does not do transparency. So I'm using this online app called Piskel. I don't know why it's named like that. I don't know if it was originally, maybe it was just originally a spelling error and then they just ran with it. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just using that to make my sprites. I'm sure you can see that there is 2 sprites that I've made for the player, one for idle and one for attacking. I gotta make running and everything else. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it, though. Yeah, I will post another. I'll post Devlog 2 when I get something else done. I'm gonna try and start keeping you guys up to date on what I'm doing as I'm doing it, and also I have a Discord. I do have a Discord, so make sure you check the description for the link if it'll let me post it. Yeah, if not, I'll figure that out. And otherwise, like, subscribe, and all that. You know the drill. I say that like it's a duty. What the fuck? Like, sub, and join the Discord, or I'm not making the game.